Well, Christian, Sebastian should be really happy with how today went. It was perfect timing, strategy and pace in the car.
No, absolutely. He got it, totally right today. And the most important thing we were trying to achieve was to save tyres to take into tomorrow's race. So we managed to do that through Q1 and Q2, and then the rain came for Q3. And in really tricky conditions where anything can happen, he really delivered two fantastic laps, particularly that last one.
And it was a shame for Mark because it didn't go right for him.
It was a shame because we got Mark into a good position, and there was a miscommunication, and Mark was unsure whether he had 2 laps or 1 lap left, and unfortunately he crossed the line 1 second too late, basically, to get that final flying lap. So he was the first to see the checker flag. Otherwise, he'd have had another time lap, and I'm sure he would have been right there as well. But nonetheless, 5th place and the pole are still very, very positive grids, and we know already that grid positions aren't that crucial, particularly for the race here.
Yeah, exactly. And you do have Felipe Massa alongside Sebastian. He's having a bit of a resurgence at the moment. He's out-qualified Fernando for the last 4 consecutive Grand Prix.
Yeah, he's on fire at the moment. He's you'd have to say from career last year, he's really been as quick, and if not a little quicker than Fernando. So he's found a good streak of form at the moment, and he's going to be a tough challenger tomorrow, as will Fernando will be, and all the other cars. So I think it's going to be a really tricky race tomorrow, and that's even without the rain. And
you've got Fernando breathing over Sebastian's shoulder in 3rd place. He makes lightning starts as well, and it's a long run into that first corner.
It's one of the longest of the year, so if you get into the first corner in the lead, that'll be a bonus for us. And I think that it's not going to be about who leads the first lap. It's going to be about how you manage to conserve the tyres, the strategy, of course dealing with the weather, if some rain which is forecast to comes as well. So there's so many different variables.
Yeah.
It's navigating your way through all of that.
And other news is that Kimi Raikkonen has been given a 3-place grid penalty for impeding Nico Rosberg. Did you see that?
I didn't see the incident. I heard that there was a penalty. So Kimi's one from quite far back in Melbourne. So he for sure is going to be a factor. He looked very light on the tyres on Friday during the practice, and that car and Kimi look pretty competitive around here.
And what about tyres for your car? Because it looks like the wear just changes day by day.
It does change day by day, and the faster you go, the more wear you take out of them. So it's trying to control the amount of wear that you're creating with the tyre, and it's something that we're focused on for the race tomorrow. So we've got plenty of new sets of dry tyres for tomorrow, and hopefully we can create some longevity. But the degradation on these tyres is very, very high.
And what do you make of McLaren's woes? It's been a tough start to the season for them, considering they won both races at the end of last season.
Yeah, they had a very fast car throughout last year, so I'm sure they're not happy with where they currently are. But they're a top team, and they've got some bright people there, and I'm sure they'll be fighting hard to get themselves back towards the front of the grid. But the tyres really are a critical factor at the moment. Understanding those tyres both over a single lap and during a race distance is a critical factor at the moment.
And standing here tonight, it's still pretty warm. Would you rather a dry or wet race tomorrow?
I don't mind, so it's one or the other. Worst thing is when it's at 50-50, you can guarantee what will happen. We'll be standing on the grid about 3 minutes before the start. It'll start raining.
Then that heel will be tapping on the pit wall.
For sure. And it'll come and go, as it does here. I mean, 5 o'clock, in Malaysia, it rains almost every day. So, but that makes it exciting. It's a challenge. It's the same for everybody. And we've just got to make sure that, we read the conditions right and get the most out of the strategy.
And very briefly, Christian, Sebastian's on pole position. Can he convert it into that win?
That's the objective. That's the challenge. I think so much will come down to management of the tyres, particularly if it's a dry race. And we've been working hard to try and get on top of that since Melbourne, but it's going to be a big challenge.
Christian, thanks very much for joining us. You can, of course, watch highlights of the Malaysian Grand Prix tomorrow, BBC One and BBC One HD, 2:30. Now, though, we'll leave you with Murray Walker. Bye-bye.